In this new lesson of our course on electronics applied to refrigeration and air conditioning, we are going to demonstrate the diagnostic procedure for the electronic control board shown on the screen. Before performing any measurements, completely disconnect the electronic board from the power supply and wait a few minutes to allow the capacitors to partially discharge. Next, set the multimeter to the DC voltage measurement mode and measure the voltage stored in the high-voltage electrolytic capacitors. The measurement should indicate a value close to 0 volts. If the capacitors still store electrical charge, use an appropriate resistor to safely discharge them before continuing with the diagnostic procedure. Then, set the multimeter to the resistance measurement mode and measure the resistance of the PTC thermistor or inrush current limiter. This value should never be 0 or infinite. Values around 40 ohms are typically expected, depending on the model. If the measurement indicates infinite resistance, the PTC is open and must be replaced. Next, check the pre-charge or startup relay. With the multimeter set to the resistance measurement mode, measure the continuity between the relay power terminals. With the board de-energized, the measurement should indicate an open circuit or infinite resistance, since the relay contacts should be open. Then, identify the relay control coil terminals. A low to moderate resistance should be present between these terminals. If the multimeter indicates infinite resistance, the relay coil is open and the relay must be replaced. Once the PTC and pre-charge relay have been verified, identify the model number or reference of the PFC module. With this information, consult the manufacturer's datasheet to determine the function of each terminal or pin of the module. If technical documentation is not available, you can initially identify the AC input terminals by locating the pins that have continuity with the AC power input of the electronic board. To test the PFC module integrated circuit, follow the steps below. Before performing the tests, it is necessary to correctly identify the main terminals of the PFC module. Pins R and S. AC input terminals from the power supply. Pin PR, positive output of the internal rectifier. Pin NR, negative output of the internal rectifier. Pin L, connection to the external PFC coil or reactor. Pin P, final positive voltage output to the inverter circuit. With the board completely de-energized, set the multimeter to the diode test mode. It is essential to correctly identify the terminal layout of the PFC module by using the markings printed on the top of the IC or by consulting the manufacturer's datasheet to determine the specific function of each pin. High-speed boost diode test. This test verifies whether the internal high-speed diode is correctly delivering current to the main DC bus capacitor. Step A. Place the black multimeter probe on pin P and the red probe on pin L. Correct reading. The multimeter should display an approximate voltage drop of 0.3 to 0.5 volts. Step B. Place the red probe on pin P and the black probe on pin L. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no electrical continuity. Input rectifier bridge test. This test verifies the 4 internal junctions responsible for converting AC voltage into DC voltage. Step A. Place the red probe on pin NR and touch pins R and S one at a time with the black probe. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an approximate voltage drop of 0.4 to 0.6 volts. Step B. Reverse the probes by placing the black probe on pin NR and the red probe on pins R and S. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no electrical continuity. Step C. Place the black probe on pin PR and touch pins R and S one at a time with the red probe. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an approximate voltage drop of 0.4 to 0.6 volts. Step D. Reverse the probes by placing the red probe on pin PR and the black probe on pins R and S. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no electrical continuity. Booster IGBT transistor test. This test verifies the condition of the power transistor used by the PFC voltage boost circuit. Step A. Place the red multimeter probe on pin NR and the black probe on pin L. Correct reading? This measurement checks the internal protection diode of the IGBT transistor. The multimeter should indicate an approximate voltage drop between 0.4 and 0.6 volts. Step B. Reverse the probes by placing the black probe on pin NR and the red probe on pin L. Correct reading. The multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no electrical continuity. If any of the measurements described above indicate a short circuit, continuity in both directions, infinite resistance where conduction should exist, or values significantly different from those indicated, it is highly likely that the PFC module is defective and requires further evaluation or replacement. Remember that the link to access our complete course on electronics applied to refrigeration and air conditioning is available in the description of this video. IPM diagnostic procedure. The IPM, or Intelligent Power Module in an inverter board, controls and switches the three-phase electrical power supplied to the inverter compressor. Its function is to regulate the compressor speed, frequency, and power through internal power transistors. It also incorporates protection features against overcurrent, overtemperature, short circuits, and low voltage to protect both the electronic board and the inverter compressor. Before beginning the IPM diagnostic procedure, verify that the heatsink is correctly installed and firmly attached to the module, since poor heat dissipation can cause overheating and internal damage to the IPM. Next, identify the IPM model number or reference and search for it online or in the manufacturer's datasheet to correctly identify the function of each terminal or pin. With the multimeter set to diode test mode, perform the following measurements. First test. Place the black negative multimeter probe on the positive supply terminal of the IPM. Place the red probe on terminals U, V, and W. Correct reading. The measurement voltages obtained from each terminal should be similar or virtually identical. Second test. Place the red probe on the negative supply terminal of the IPM. Place the black probe on terminals U, V, and W. Correct reading. As in the previous test, all measurement voltage drops should be similar. If any measurement shows significantly different values, direct continuity, or short circuit, it is highly likely that the IPM module is defective and requires further evaluation or replacement. Inverter compressor diagnostic procedure. An error code may also be triggered by internal electrical problems within the inverter compressor. To perform the diagnostic procedure, completely disconnect the equipment from the power supply and then disconnect the compressor power terminals. Using the multimeter in resistance measurement mode, measure the electrical resistance between each pair of inverter compressor terminals. Correct reading. The resistance values obtained between each pair of terminals should be virtually identical. In addition, the measurements should never indicate 0 ohms or infinite resistance. These conditions may indicate an internal short circuit or open winding in the inverter compressor. Next, using the multimeter in mega-ohm measurement mode or insulation test mode, measure the electrical resistance between each terminal and the metallic housing of the inverter compressor. Correct reading.
In all measurements, the value indicated by the multimeter should be infinite or extremely high, indicating that there is no current leakage to ground. If any measurement shows continuity or low resistance between the terminals and the metallic housing of the inverter compressor, this indicates a possible ground fault or damage to the internal insulation of the inverter compressor.